Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Saturday, May 25th, 2024. And in this video, we're going to take a closer look at something Mr. T spoke about recently. He's been talking about the temperature in the courtroom where he has been having to spend so much of his time, and that it was very cold. The judge Judge Mershon has said that with their building the way it is, and I've been in federal buildings before, I can believe this. He said it's either or. It's either going to be way too cold or way too hot. But one of my viewers wanted me to look at this and ask if this cold courtroom if there's more layers to that phrase and meaning, number one, if it's deliberate, and possibly, is it even something that's needed by some of those that are in attendance in that courtroom? So, of course, they were speaking of reptilians, and did a little searching, spoke with my good friend Linda Snarky McAllister, and she said, when they're full-blooded, they don't do well on the surface. Hybrids, not so sure about that. So then I also thought about, do you remember the time that number 46 was the first time he showed up with the double chin when he was leaving Israel? And everybody said that's a mask and they have to keep the room cool for masks. And that that double chin of his probably was because he was perspiring in that mask, whoever that was playing the part that day. Well, I find it a little reassuring that Mr. T is complaining about the cold courtroom, because if he was wearing a mask, he wouldn't be wanting to be warmer. So I do think that quite often the appearances we're seeing of Mr. T, including in the courtroom, are some stand-ins and lookalikes, but I also believe that that is to keep the original very, very safe. So I want to go on record as saying that. So I'm not saying that he's not. It just it's more likely that someone is not in a mask that he's too concerned about. So let's ask the cards, what's up with this chilly courtroom? And is there a calm involved, communication involved? Is there some insights and information the universe wants us to have? Now, before we do, I'm going to take you to a very short compilation I've got and show you an article. I found a couple of them that were referencing this. This is an article that does not require you to subscribe or pay a fee to read. More and more often, I'm running into that as I look for sources to share with you, and I try not to do that. So here we go to a share screen. It'll take a second to get to it. All right. So here's the article I found in the Washington Examiner back April 26, almost a month ago. But it's not the only time Mr. T has complained about the temperature in that courtroom. This is just one such example, just so you know. So you can look at that at your leisure if you like, or just take my word for it that he has complained more than once that that courtroom is cold, and we want to know what's up with that. So let's ask the cards for insights and information. Okay, I'm going to leave it open-ended like that because there's several possibilities. Again, just poorly maintained infrastructure, which seems a little hard to believe, but hey, this is New York, right? After they skim off the top, pay the kickbacks, what have you, who knows what's left for building maintenance. And then there's a possibility it's masks that are requiring the cold, and it could be the jury, it could be the judge. I don't know. Let's see if the universe gives us some clue about what's going on with that uncomfortably cold courtroom that Mr. T keeps having to spend his time in. I'm going to switch the camera. You can watch me work with the cards, and we'll find out together. Yeah, I'm curious to see what we're going to find out from the cards about what's really going on with those cold temperatures in the courtroom. Well, they're not allowing cameras in there, so you don't have the heat from studio lighting, things like that, that they need to account for. I'm curious. And when I'm curious, I like to explore those items I'm curious about with you, and that's just what we're doing here. Here we have the Nine of Wands, King of Cups, Page of Swords, the Tower, Six of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. I'm going to share with you what the cards seem to be telling me intuitively, and then we'll look at elements of the cards that give me the confidence to say that. First of all, there is at least one person in that courtroom who is wearing a mask and or is working hard to maintain a facade. I can't tell which it is, but the courtroom temperature is designed to do a couple things. It's designed, number one, to annoy Mr. T and his team. Number two, it's because it's actually needed by at least one person who is a regular in that courtroom. And I find that very, very interesting. And again, I'll show you why I'm saying that in this layout. Just looking at it as a whole, if you're not a card reader, just so you understand, these two cards talk about our question and the situation. This is the recent past. This is the current. It's interesting. We have a tower up here, and then the near future. And overall, the near future looks really, really good. I like the look of that. So, but we were confining our question to what is up with that chilly courtroom that Mr. T and his team are having to contend with. Now, first of all, this card indicates Mr. T is determined, regardless of what they throw at him. Determination and grit and resilience are just part of who and what he is. The situation, though, here with the King of Cups is telling us that despite his determination, there is someone there who is very good at putting forth a visage that is not genuine. In fact, if there was some way for Mr. T to get some high vibration people in that courtroom, more and more those beings who either project a false persona or what have you, they're having trouble as our world is getting to a higher state of being. They're having trouble holding their shapes. I've seen this in my own life. So is one of my moderators. I have someone I speak to, and one of their eyes regularly goes from round pupil to slitted pupil. They don't even know it. And they're nice people. If there's something in their background, it's so many generations behind. But again, there are those having difficulty holding their facade. I'll just leave it at that. The Page of Swords is a card about talking about truth and diplomacy. And so, yeah, we're on a quest for that, for some truth and diplomacy here. The Tower moment, they're trying to avoid a Tower moment. What I'm getting here is a lot of what's happening to Mr. T, and we already knew this, was just simply that they're trying to avoid and forestall a Tower moment in the political structure of my country. I'll phrase it like that so I don't get in trouble. So yeah, we know it's lawfare. It is. And it's not going to stop what is coming. It's not. I mean, they might delay it, they might tweak it a little bit, but when we have a major arcana show up, it tells us the information that we're sharing via the major arcana is not going to be changed or altered at all, or only in a minor way. So yeah, they're trying to avoid this Tower moment. When we look ahead though, look here. We've got a card here of reconciliation, a card of victory. We have another card of celebration. We've got a I love that these are three different suits because the wand suit is about actions. The wreaths on them signify victory. And then the cups are emotions, and this is one of just sibling love and care. It does sometimes talk about if there's a reconciliation involved, it might not be all that long lasting because we may be getting into some temporary situations as changes happen in our world. But it is a good card here. Now, why I said that part of this is annoyance. The 2 6s here tend to talk about irritability. So they're hoping to provoke Mr. T. They were hoping to make him irritable. I think if he hadn't complained about the cold, they would have had the room be too warm, one or the other. But they found, and someone needed the cold more, so they went with that, trying to provoke some irritability. And he seems to be handling the situation fairly well. Good for him. And then we have the 10 here. We have the pentacles, so we've got our emotions here, we've got our actions here, and then these are tangible items, real estate, gold, things like that. And so we've got some good changes coming and nothing to worry about for us. But this tower moment is what they're trying to avoid, and they're at that moment in the proceedings. Let's get a couple more cards and see what the universe has to tell us. Okay, we've got the 7 of Swords and Strength. The 7 of Swords talks about someone trying to get away with a little bit of something. So they were trying, again, this is shenanigans. This courtroom temperature is 99% shenanigans, but it is shenanigans with a need of someone or something in that courtroom to stay cool and calm and not fill up their chin with sweat. So I'm leaning more towards there's at least one person there that's masked. The Strength card coming on top of the situation, and just another beautiful card for the near future saying, no matter what they try, strength is ours and infinite resources of that strength is ours. Again, kind of always going back to that, nothing can stop what is coming. Let's recap. One of my viewers asked me to explore with the tarot cards any possible reasons why the courtroom that Mr. T and his team are having to spend so much time in is noticeably chilly. He's commented on it several times. So we wondered, is there a communication going on about that? Is there a reason behind it? Is it just simply, poor maintenance? Is it the fact that if someone's in a mask, they need it cold so they don't perspire too much? What is going on with that? So we got a couple of answers here. And basically, the main thing was, first of all, the general comment was all of this is shenanigans trying to avoid some big changes that are going to ultimately be unavoidable for those who oppose Mr. T. His determination, he being Mr. T and his team, those loyal to him and not just playing at it, they're determined. They've taken some blows, but they're working with the situation in, I think, fairly graceful way. The King of Cups, he's got a poker face. And he's the card that kind of gave me the nudge that, there's someone or more than one someone who is wearing a mask in that courtroom. And they do need it cold for that. Now, that is not the type of consideration that would be given to someone on Mr. T's team. So that tells me it's someone who is associated with the court or with those that are making these court things happen. The Truth card showed up in the near future or the recent past. So yeah, the truth will come out. Truth will come out. And in the near future, we had some beautiful cards. Although, even though they're beautiful, the 2 6s that showed up in the near future, those speak of irritability. So they're trying to provoke Mr. T in ways where they can seem to be innocent of those kind of shenanigans, but they're anything but. However, the overall message from these cards is one of victory, reconciliation, and good things good things. Another good thing for the near future was the 10 of Pentacles, which talks about a time is coming when multi-generations are going to be celebrating and happy. The shenanigans, again, they're not getting away with nearly what they wanted to, but they're trying. And ultimately, strength is ours. So, Mr. T, your courtroom is cold because someone's mask would be slipping and sliding if it wasn't. Number one. Number two, they're hoping to make you irritable. And number three, don't let the tail wag the dog. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I appreciate you very much. This is Memorial Day weekend in the United States. And if you celebrate in any way, please do so safely so that we can all be back here again next time. Until next time, if you'd like to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.